Anyway, we all have to go to the courtroom, you know, and this guy sued each one of us for $5,000 and the Yankees for something too.
The injured man?
Yeah. And I think that finally they found out it wasn't one of the players that hit him. It was one of the...
Bowlers?
He was one of the bowlers.
You mean one of his own...
No, it was one of the bouncers in the Copa.
Oh, the bouncer.
That hit him with a blackjack in the face or something.
That...
I think that's what they found out. I don't really think it was one.
They wouldn't do that.
No.
We call that a sap, the thing that they...
Yeah, sap.
It's called a sap, yeah. And you're called a sap if you get in the way of one, I think, too. Well, now, there's a certain drama that spins off from that night, because wasn't it a result of that night, really, there wasn't that the straw that broke the man?
Billy got traded because of it. We feel that's the reason he got traded. Mr. Weiss had warned us a few times before that, that, you know, if things kept going, if we kept missing trains and planes and stuff, that something was going to happen. And so Billy was the most exposable one. You know, Whitey won 25 games a year, and at that time I was hitting like Hank Aaron does, you know. I mean, I was hitting pretty good, so they couldn't get rid of us, so they got rid of Billy.
Now, that drama, in a sense, is still going on. I mean, you can't date it all from that night, but the Billy Martin story does go on. And as a result of that night, didn't you think that Casey Stengel was the reason that Martin was thrown out?
I didn't think so. Billy thought that Casey got rid of him.
Yeah.
And I never did think that, and it was the farthest thing from the truth. Casey loved Billy, like a manager would love, and I know Leo would say this, would love to have a guy like Billy on his team, because well, I remember a lot of times when we'd like to lose four or five straight games, you know, Casey'd say, we're getting in a rut here, you know. Said, somebody go out there and start a fight. Hey, Martin, go out there and start a fight today, you know, get us out of this rut. Well, just as soon as Billy go out on the field, he'd start a fight with somebody, you know. And Casey loved him for that. You know?
Well, how did Casey and Martin get back together? Didn't you work as an intermediary or as an ambassador?
Well, I always told Billy, they said that the reason they traded Billy was because he was a bad influence on me. And
that's hilarious.
The year that they traded him, the year before they traded Billy, I led the league in everything. I hit 52 home runs and drove in 140 runs and scored. I led the American League in every offensive department.
Yeah.
And then I said they fired him. They trade Billy because he's a bad influence. Well, that year I hit 365 or something like that. It was unbelievable. So he couldn't have been that bad of an influence, you know?
No, and didn't you also lead the league in the things that they thought he was a bad influence on you about?
Well, it wasn't my fault, really. He was a bad influence. I won't say that right now. In fact, if it hadn't been for Billy and Whitey, I could have played as long as Hank did.
I bet you could.
I had to retire when I was 35 years old.
And there's no pun on...
He played at least 40.
Yeah. No pun on the word.
If he'd run into Billy and Whitey, he wouldn't have hit 755 home runs.
Through the Decades, hosted by Bill Curtis and featuring Ellie Pie Hong and Carrie Sayers. Weekdays here on Decades.
When your grip is starting to slip, handling nail clippers can be tough. Clip too closely and ouch! Introducing the amazing new Roto Clipper, the fast, easy way to trim and file your nails at the same time. Just push the button and insert your nail. In seconds, you have a perfectly trimmed nail. Just like an electric emery board, it precisely files each nail for a salon-smooth finish. Dual-sided Roto Clipper uses one side to trim nails and the other side to file them. The secret is the durable beveled blades that spin at a powerful 700 RPM to trim and shape fingernails to a smooth, flawless finish. Clippings are nasty. Not anymore. Roto Clipper's removable head means easy cleaning. The blades are recessed so they're safe to the touch. Roto Clipper won't harm your skin. It's delicate enough, it won't even damage a balloon. It's hard to see when you clip your nails, but with Roto Clipper's light, you can trim your nails with ease. Clipping your nails is a struggle. Let battery-operated Roto Clipper do the work for you. The ergonomic grip fits comfortably in your hand, perfect for arthritis sufferers.
I have a hard time bending down to trim my toenails. Roto Clipper makes it so easy.
I have patients coming in all the time to trim their nails. And now with Roto Clipper, they can trim their own nails and keep them healthy.
Did rough nails walking? Roto Clipper grooms nails with smooth, even edges. Kids will be chipper when you use Roto Clipper.
Cutting my son's nails used to be a battle, but with the Roto Clipper, it's so fun. He actually wants to trim his nails now.
Now get Roto Clipper for just $19.99. Order right now and we'll double the offer and give you a second Roto Clipper totally free because there are no additional shipping and handling charges. That's 2 Roto Clipper nail trimmers for the price of 1.
To order Roto Clipper for $19.99 plus processing and handling, call 1-800-919-7951 or order online at rotoclipper.com.
Attention fishermen. Now there's a revolutionary lure that experts say catches too many fish. In fact, it's even banned in some states. Introducing the rechargeable twitching lures. The first rechargeable electronic lures with the genetic secret to catching fish. They're so easy. Charge them like your cell phone. They charge in minutes so you can fish for hours. When it hits the water, it begins to flash, buzz, and twitch. So the big fish think it's an injured bait fish. These twitching lures catch every species of fresh or saltwater fish. The secret is in the patented VibraStrike technology. The lure flashes, buzzes, and twitches to attract fish from miles away. Fish can't resist that twitch because it triggers their urge to strike, programmed deep down in their DNA.
They hear it, they see it, they feel it, and they bite it.
Bass, trout, salmon, tuna, mahi, amberjack, salt or fresh, big or small, the twitching lure catches them all. It's guaranteed a catch on every cast or your money back.
Started to vibrate and the light started to flash. It was bam, instantaneous. Drove the fish crazy.
Absolutely phenomenal. One cast after the other, fish after fish. Fantastic.
Watch this. We turned on the camera and a stopwatch. Here's the cast. Pow! Here's the fish. 10 seconds. A twitching lure works that fast. Now, look at them all go for it. This is a live strike in the open ocean. Fish can't resist a lure with a twitch. It triggers their DNA.
I can see it flashing when it's in the water.
Fish magnet. Find another lure like it on the planet Earth.
The rechargeable twitching lure has been featured in USA Today and even major fishing magazines. The twitching lure takes the guessing out of fishing. This one lure replaces them all. Call or go online now and get your rechargeable twitching lure with recharging cord for only $19.99. Guaranteed a catch every cast or your money back. But wait, order now and you can add a second twitching lure. Just pay additional processing and handling. That's a $40 value for just $19.99. Plus the secret to always catching fish. Priceless.
There was a book by, which some people thought was about a former British Prime Minister, Balfour, but was in fact called Balfour. Why did I just go blank? It is called Balfour, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah,
Balfour,
yeah, Jim
right.
Bouton's book. And is anyone still hypocritical enough to pretend that the so-called expose of baseball that book was isn't true?
There isn't a ball player that puts a uniform on that couldn't have written the same book.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Yeah,
Everybody could have written the same book.
So the soreness was if somebody broke ranks and ratted. Would that be what you mean?
Well, in our business, you just don't do stuff like that. I mean, it's a tradition in our business. I think the book is a piece of garbage. You know, that's my own opinion about it. I don't like it.
You don't like it?
Well,
I think
that's right.
I think
because
what happened.
they have no right to go around and talk about jumping like we have in our league. I don't think that. And anybody's life, we all do the same thing. Any ball player's life, we all could do it very easy.
But is the principle here people who live in glass houses?
That's right. I agree so much. But that book is different.
Shouldn't hit pop flies.
He was a player last year, of course, with our ball club, and I was responsible for releasing Jim Bouton.
Yeah.
And of course, he just written little 5 chapters in Sports Illustrated. He really got a hold of me, But I just felt like, some of the things that he said and about the players was untrue. Some of the young players, in the minor leagues, he was saying that some of them smoked dope and et cetera, And I just felt like those things should remain in the clubhouse.
Yeah. Well, why exactly? Is it because it disillusions people the way Nixon did in the White House? Or,
well, I don't know.
Somebody said the worst thing Nixon did was he let everybody see what a seamy side the government always has been, always has had. Is it that he revealed that all major sports, because they're played by
what happened
happened
was that he pretended like he was coming back to try to get to the big leagues to play baseball, and he used that to play minor league baseball. And he used that to get into the clubhouse to peep and to eavesdrop on some of the young players. And I just thought it was wrong, some of the things that he said in the book. And of course, he talked about me, and what he said about me was the fact that I released him and didn't come to watch him pitch. And I said, well, really, we didn't have any spot for a 40-year-old knuckleball pitch in Double-A ball. We're not raising 40-year-old knuckleball pitchers. Yeah. And that's the thing, I guess, got it teed off. Yeah, we were building young teams, because I tried to explain to Bowden that every time he went out on the mound, he pitched 17, he went on the mound 17 times, and 17 times he took a start away from some young kid. Mm-hmm. And that was my position, It was my position in order to bring up these young players and not to try to develop a 40-year-old knuckleball pitcher. Well, he said to me, well, Phil Niekro is pitching in the big leagues. I said, yeah, he sure is. I said, he's not pitching in the minor league. I said, you're trying to get to the big leagues.
Yeah.
He said some very unkind things that were not true.
Yeah.
What could you say
about Henry?
Yeah. What recourse do you have in a case like that?
None whatsoever. Just hope that Mr. Bowden would take a cue and keep going. It was a well, it was a case of really. The less you say about it, the better off you are. I try not to say anything about it, but because it was a case that the only thing that I was interested in was trying to develop the kids in the spring training, the young kids in our farm system.
Yeah.
And I was hoping that he would understand that, but he didn't.
Maybe hearing you say it so well now, he will understand.
Well, I tried to. I talked to him in the clubhouse. And
I know he never misses
this is what happened. Well, I brought him in West Palm Beach. I brought him in. I said, Bowden, I said, well, I'm sorry. I said, I got to release you. He said, release me. And then he went on and he started talking. He said, now don't hang that uniform. Don't bother my uniform. He said, I'll be right back. And it was around Easter, it was kind of tough getting out of West Palm Beach at the time. Mm-hmm. I don't know how he got out, but about 40 or 50 minutes later, he was in Atlanta. And I got a telephone call from Bill Lucas, who was then our general manager, who's passed away last week. And he said that he had talked to Ted Turner, and Ted wanted him to pitch.
Want who to pitch?
Jim Bowden.
Want Bowden to pitch?
Yeah, I said, it's his ball club. I said, bring him on back. Yeah. I said, his uniform is here,
Well, Ted Turner has some zany ideas.
No, he's a businessman, really.
He certainly is.
You can afford to have zany ideas with this kind of money.
I know. See, if you see him, would you mention to him that I taped a show with him one time? It's never been on the air. It was in this room. There was a little rancor in it, a little unpleasantness, but someone other than myself decided not to air it. I think I just decided to air it.
I'll tell him.
How would you rule on that,
Well, first you got to see the film.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Let's see what's on it.
Want to see whether it's a ball or a strike.
I'd like to see it.
I want to tell you what type of guys are in our business. And that's Hank and Hank. That's what you call a class man right there. That's what you call
Hank Aaron, yes.
This guy in DeRoche, because, you got the whole baseball world here today. It's a super,
Who are some of the real bums in baseball?
Where do you want me to start?
Umpires.
Oh, wait, I think you have a list of them in here. Is that these names on the back?
No, that's my guy there. But, see, this is something that people don't hear when it comes out. Every time you hear the other side sometimes.
Mm-hmm. I always felt that Hank was the best all-around baseball player in my time, and Leo will say Willie. It was one of the two, and it would be hard to pick between the two of them. He was always underrated because he played in Milwaukee.
Mickey is saying, and it's absolutely true. If I had been managing Mickey Mantle, he'd have been the greatest ball player in baseball.
Whereas?
If I'd had the pleasure of managing Hank Aaron, he would have been. I was fortunate enough to manage Willie Mays, who could do it all, who did it all. And as I said to Reggie Jackson once, who couldn't get through this door, I said, when you hit 660 home runs, come and talk to me.
See, like if Casey were here, he would say I was. But Leo sticks up for him. I stick up for him, and I wouldn't even play. I wasn't even in the National League or anything. But I think he was the most underrated ball player until he hit
for a long time.
Until he broke Babe Ruth's record, nobody knew him.
Well, there's only 5 things you can do, Dick, to be great, and that's hit with power, field and run, and throw. Name me one that he couldn't do. God-given. The same as me.
You only named 4 things there, didn't you?
No, I named 5. 5, now you're going to sleep. Come on.
No,
wake up here.
I thought maybe there was one you didn't want to mention on the air.
No, I mentioned them all.
Okay,
There's only 5 things you can do, and that's God-given. And he had it that way. Mays had it that way. And Mickey, of course, was injured with his leg for quite some time. Without that injury, who knows what would have happened with him. And then at one time and I don't know whether any of these boys have seen him play or not. Tom saw him play. Pete Reeser. If he didn't run in the walls, he had Mantle's power. Right and left-handed. Run, field, and throw. He could do it all.
Yeah.
But that brick wall would never stop him. He thought he could go right through it.
He should have played Yankee Stadium. We didn't have any wall. It was all the way out there.
That's what he needed.
Say, what's the one ballpark? Is it Wrigley Field or Comiskey Park that only has ivy on the walls and none of the
Wrigley Field.
Is it better for players than to have the
good background.
Roy Tan
But it's hard to find the ball at times.
Well, that shows my age.
It's hard to find the ball.
Hard to find the ball in here.
Visit decades.com for daily and weekly schedules, program descriptions, where to watch, and more. Log on and look back at decades.com.
Tired of struggling with the same boring Christmas lights year after year? Does your tree need a brighter, more festive look for the holidays? Introducing Tree Dazzler, the spectacular new lighting system that instantly creates an amazing holiday light show on any Christmas tree. It's so easy. Simply place the light ring on top of any tree. Then position the vertical strands of bulbs, and you're ready to start the show. Watch as your tree is transformed into a spectacular array of vivid, colorful lights. Everyone will be amazed. Tree Dazzler has light patterns and color choices for everyone. With just a touch of a button, you control the show. Press the steady button for solid colors, and press again to alternate the colors. The sparkle button will make your tree twinkle. The blinking colors bring life to any room. The show button will have you mesmerized by the colorful scrolling patterns and dazzled by diagonal waves of sparkling light. It's your choice. But for the real party, press again and your tree will explode to life with vibrant, colorful patterns of light. So no more string light disasters. Tree Dazzler's vertical design never tangles. The lights fall right into place every time. Plus, it's built to last with LED bulbs that'll last a lifetime and are virtually unbreakable. It's no hassle decorating guaranteed.
I never thought our tree could look like this. It is so beautiful and was so easy. I just can't take my eyes off of it.
Turn your tree into the star of the show with Tree Dazzler for just $39.99. It comes with our 5-year guarantee. If it ever fails, we'll replace it for free. But wait, call right now and get a free upgrade to our deluxe model with 20 more amazing patterns. A $20 value, yours free. Our quantities are very limited, so act now to get your deluxe Tree Dazzler today.
Call 1-800-560-7422 to get your Tree Dazzler. Call now or go to treedazzler.com. So call 1-800-560-7422. That's 1-800-560-7422. This special offer is not available in any store. Order now.
Say, while we're on this subject, and I do wish Casey Stengel were here, probably one of the most hilarious events in American history is his testimony in front of the in Washington when he testified about baseball being a what was it?
Antitrust.
The antitrust suit. And Casey Stengel got up and did one of the most fabulous pieces of double talk I've ever heard in my life.
And they dismissed him. They couldn't get him out of there fast
Well, then didn't they call you on?
They asked him one question. He talked for like an hour. So then I was scared to death. He's happy. You know, he loves it. You know, they had cameras there and everything. It was the Kefauver
Committee, our younger viewers.
Committee. And they asked Casey to come up first. They had Casey, myself, and Ted Williams, and Stan Musial. And I was only like 20 years old or something at this time, and I was scared to death. I didn't have any idea what I was doing there.
Being called into the principal's office.
I thought we was going to go to jail or something. You know? So they called Casey up and asked him this one, do you think baseball is against the antitrust laws or something like that? And he started in talking about 1900 or something when he was in Kankakee, Illinois. And he said he tore his suit sitting in the stands. And now they got the nice seats and all that. But he went for like an hour. And so then they said, well, Mr. Stengel, would you please excuse yourself, sit down there. And they called me up.
He was explaining how to bait fish hooks or something about the time they told him.
They're talking about railroads, how good the railroads were getting, and airplanes. So then I got to go up, and you got to put your hand on the thing, you know, and say, I swear I won't tell no lies or nothing. And I was nervous.
Is that the oath?
Won't tell no lies or nothing.
That's wonderful. We have so little time left. Leo, you were manager when baseball history was made and the first black player came into the National League.
Jackie Robinson.
Yeah, great moment in history. And it's disgusting now to read how some of the members of your own team didn't want him on it.
Well, one player in particular wrote a letter, and he was gone. They traded him right now.
They?
The club.
Yeah.
The Dodgers traded him immediately, and the other fella I'll say one thing. He had the guts to look him right in the eye, and he said, I don't like you, and I'm not crazy about playing with you, but you're on my club, and we'll get along, and I'm going to play with you.
Let's at least...
And the one player was Stanky, who said he didn't like him.
Al Stanky?
No,
Eddie Stanky, yeah.
He said, I don't like you, but he said, I'll play with you, and we'll fight together because you're a teammate of mine. And the other fellow was Dixie Walker, who wrote the letter. And was traded to Brooklyn for, 3 or 4 players that spring, that winter. Right away, gone. Gone.
What if Satchel Paige had been allowed to play when he was under 60 or whatever he was when he still...
I hit against Satchel Paige in 1925 when I was a rookie with the Yankees, and we played an exhibition game in Detroit, and I never saw the ball. It must have been a golf ball he was throwing. Because it was at 1, 2, 3. I could have gone back. I could have never left the bench with the same thing. He could really bring it. As we say in baseball.
Really bring it.
He could really
I
fire.
played against him in 1951, my first year with the Yankees. He was relieving a relief pitcher. Remember when Vic put the easy chair out in the bullpen for him in St. Louis? And I don't know how old he was then, but he could still bring it, as he says.
For our younger
He was
viewers,
fast.
Satchel Paige was a legendary black ball player who was not allowed to play except in black leagues through his prime.
Although our commissioner, who was the greatest ever lived, Judge Landis, it was brought up because I was in his office every week for something, and I mentioned to him why we didn't have colored ballplayers, and he said, whoever put that rule in?
Really?
Who said you couldn't?
And no one had ever...
And I never had an answer for it, and Mr. Rickey was the first one that brought, well, you talk about some colored ballplayers, Henry knows Josh Gibson, and you want to name some that could really...
What about Elston Howard?
Wow.
He's great. He was our first one, and he was the best, one of my best friends. I couldn't say Billy and Whitey and Yogi. They're all great friends, but Elston was right up there with us.
And who was it who said, I finally get one, and I get the only one in the world who can't run?
Casey about
Stengel.
Elston. He said all the rest of them can run like hell. We get one, he can't even run.
Well, Marty Irvin, he's the place of the Giants. He was super. You had him.
Marty Irvin now working out of the commissioner's office, and a beautiful man.
Gentlemen, I think this show is over. It has really flown. I hope you can come back sometime, perhaps tomorrow night, but at this moment I don't honestly know. So we'll just say goodnight. It's been wonderful having you here. Tom Gorman, Mickey Mantle, Leo DeRocher, Hank Aaron. There's certainly a good feeling among athletes and people connected with that, and
Thank you, Dick.
It's a great thrill to have you guys here. Maybe you'll be here again. We'll see you tomorrow night, and good night.